Welcome to another edition of Nanook Insider. On this week's episode, hockey is back after a 4-game road trip and will look to try to stay on the winning track. Volleyball began its spring season this week with new head coach Mallory Larrañaga at the helm. We chat with senior swimmer Sarah Meierotto on Ask the Nanook, and Scott Jerome recaps skiing's long trip to Utah and Minnesota. Now let's head to the rink to check in with the Hockey Nanooks. The Alaska hockey team is back home following an impressive 4-0 road trip at Michigan and Notre Dame, and it'll look to keep to its winning ways when Northern Michigan comes to town this weekend.
When you can put a streak like that together, especially on the road and especially in those venues, I mean, they're not easy places to play, and they're exciting to play, and that's kind of was our approach, is that these are good opportunities to play against some good teams and some good venues that, you know, it'll be fun to play. It was 2 good weekends, but now we've got a real tough opponent in Northern Michigan coming up here. I mean, I think they haven't lost in 6 games, so I'm looking forward to competing against them. They've always been tough games, and our coaching staff always has their team prepared, and you know, we've got to get ourselves back up mentally to where we were at and competing on Friday and Saturday.
Obviously, going in, our objective was to come over there with some points. A lot of preparation and getting ready for both the Michigan game and the Notre Dame series. I mean, practice was great all week. Our focus was going in there to get points, and that's what we did. I mean, coming home with 4 wins on the road, you can't ask for a better road trip than that.
It's great. We were talking about it. Us seniors, we've never won a game in Yost. We always have this thing with Notre Dame, so we were really happy to get those wins there. But I think the big thing is just like playing in those buildings. You feel the electricity of like the fans and everyone coming out, and those places are really loud. And we just really enjoy playing in those kind of places, and we play well as getting those 12 points. So it was awesome.
And late heroics by Jarrett Granberg when he scored with only 3 seconds left in Friday's win at Notre Dame kept the hope for 4 straight road wins alive.
Your main goal, like once you get a puck to the net, everyone's going to go to the net. So I think that was kind of my thinking, and same with Nick and Morley's thinking. Is just as soon as we got it there, we knew there was little time, so you just want to go and crash and bang and hopefully get the result like we did.
It was exciting. I mean, again, do you expect games to finish like that? No, but they're pretty exciting when you're on the winning side of those. I mean, we had one in Ferris too, where, you know, we win with a few seconds left, and it was that same line. So, you know what? It's exciting for the guys, and it's kind of that never quit attitude. And would have been easy just to kind of ride the clock out, but you know what? They pressured and got a turnover and capitalized on it.
Our focus this week is getting ready to play Northern Michigan, and that's a team that we haven't had a lot of success with over the past few years. So our main objective and focus this week is going to the Carlson Center and pick up 3 points Friday night and go from there.
You know what? We're back at home. Let's get ourselves prepared to compete hard, and we've got 10 games left in the CCHA. You know, so, and you can see how tight the standings are right now. So every game's important, and getting as many points as you can get here over the next 5 weeks is going to be crucial.
Though the 2013 volleyball campaign doesn't start for another 7 months, the Nanooks were on the court this week as head coach Mallory Larrañaga and the team began spring season.
Felt great. I already love the girls, and we've already started to develop a trust, but getting out here and getting into the real work on the court is my favorite part, and I believe it's their favorite part too. We had a blast. There was a lot of talk, a ton of energy. I think it's one of the loudest practices we've ever had, and I hope to keep that going. I don't think we have a lot of rest. I think there's a lot of pent-up energy that they got to get out, so that was really exciting. They've been doing a really good job with each other, keeping each other accountable for their winter workouts. They had some things they were doing together. They've kept in contact over the break, so I know they were really excited to get back together and get to work. It's a different feel, definitely, and I think they all understand that that's going to be sort of the norm now. But the rest is definitely something that we hoped wouldn't be a lot of. I think that they were too busy to even notice the rest. My favorite part about practice was the competitiveness. Even though we weren't competing against somebody else, a different team, or we aren't able to have a spring competitive season, the girls are finding ways to compete in everything they do. There's a bit of smack talking across the net. There's a little bit of smack talking as they're doing their warm-ups. And so there's a competitive edge in this gym at all times, which I love.
Well, we're joined by senior Sarah Meierotto on this week's edition of Ask the Nanook. All right, Sarah, you ready for some questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You guys, just getting back from Flagstaff, your elevation training trip. I mean, how important is that trip? And this is now your 4th time going.
Yeah, it's really critical actually because we have 2 main sections of our season. So we have a lot of really hard training and then a fast meet in the fall, and then we have to get right back into it in the spring. But we have Christmas break right in the middle of it, so altitude training really helps us get a jump on it and be ready to push hard for the spring season.
As a senior, your last 2 home dual meets, are you starting to get the emotions flying, knowing Simon Fraser's coming to town on Friday and Saturday? That's going to be it for the home season?
Yeah, kind of. I feel like I'm not nervous about meets anymore just because I've been to so many, but it's going to be kind of nostalgic having my last session here, my last races in this pool. Put in so many hours, but it's gonna be the cherry on top, hopefully.
All right, now let's move on to our rapid fire section.
Okay.
Who's the first one in the pool?
Margot Adams.
Who's the last one out?
Danny.
Who is the fastest?
Depends on the event, but for sprinting it would be Benty Heller.
Who's the hardest worker?
Hardest worker, Danny.
All right. Well, Sarah, thanks for being here on Ask the Nanook, and good luck this weekend against Simon Fraser.
Thank you.
Typically, we've done pretty well at U.S. Nationals, and then last couple of years haven't done so well at NCAA. So we made the training a little bit different, in the hopes of having better performances in March. So when we didn't get off to a particularly fast start at NCAAs, it wasn't. I mean, it's always a little concerning, but it wasn't too worrisome. And certainly we had several people sick. Although Logan, did exceptionally well and made it over to World Junior Championships, and then Michael Fehrenbach, 13th place in the Master 30, which is a huge race. I mean, for a freshman to do that is really big. So we had some mixed results. Then we had some really good rest. First when we got to Minnesota, and then we had some great training, and we just felt like things were coming together and people were getting healthy and the training was going well. So we felt really good going into the races at Theodore Wirth Park. Anytime a student athlete gets to represent their country in international competition, whether it's the United States or Canada or whatever country, I think it says a lot about that student athlete, and it says a lot about the program. And we're thrilled that he made it for Team USA to be over at World Junior Championships, and certainly Logan has high goals and high expectations. He wants to be a true international competitor, and then he's been over to Europe several times in the last couple of years on international trips with the U.S. team. So this is another step in that process, and if he keeps doing what he's doing, I'm pretty confident that we'll see him again, at the World Championship and Olympic level. So. This is just another step in the process for him, but it's very cool, and we're really, really proud and excited for him. We're going to take sort of a B team down to race in the classic 3x5 and 3x10 classic relay, and also the free technique sprint. And those count towards a conference title, but they're not NCAA qualifiers. And we're going to let sort of our top group that have the best chance of making NCAA stay home, rest, train properly, and get ready for the next big road trip for the final conference championship races and regionals, which is the final 4 NCAA qualifiers. So we're going to break up the team a little bit, but I think all in all, it gives some people a chance to travel that didn't make the travel team originally, and it gives the A team a chance to rest a little bit, and so I think it's a good win-win situation.